Hello. I love it. Woohoo! Welcome to the newest episode of the S Word Live. We already have our first caller, kids. Welcome, welcome. So so the caller's on hold for 1 second. I am going to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Renee Hribar, and I am a sales strategist, speaker, and author of the book Sell Like a Mother. And my goal in life is to help women all across the globe to feel comfortable talking about what they know is important. And in the world that I come from, it's called sales, or it could just be called getting your kids out the door on time. We sell every day, kids, whether it's in our house or online or in the boardroom or to the dentist when I don't want the fluoride treatment. Either way, I am about teaching people how to do that with comfort and ease. And so there's a lot of things that circle around sales. And when it comes to these questions, I love nothing more than to share my 20 years of field experience with you, making millions of dollars for big companies and teaching thousands of people to do the same. So let's take our first caller. We've got Katie Speetson on the phone. Woohoo, Katie! So for those of you who don't know her, she is brilliant. She's in Chicago, but I'm going to let her tell. So Katie, tell everybody who's listening a little bit about you and your business.
I run two companies. Mother Cluckers Comedy is my female comedy troupe based out of LaGrange, Illinois. It's comedy for parents and people who've had parents. And I also do corporate storytelling and branding under Katie Speetson Presents. And that's actually what I have a question for you today.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear it. Okay. Katie, what is your sales question?
Okay, so I am trying to reach out to more people, sales directors and HR directors in the corporate world. And I recently met, sort of through a parents organization, a parent who is in my child's community, but is interested in what I do and possibly bringing me in to do sales training there. I'm about to shoot off an email. And I'm trying to figure out how to do it so that it's personal, that it gets the idea across. Also, if it goes south, it's not awkward on the playground.
Awesome. Right. So yes, that's a fantastic question. So for those of you guys who may have not heard that, she has a connection in her real life, in her personal life, a parent at school, right?
Yes.
And she is saying, hey, I have a business and I might need you to come in and do some training for me.
Yes.
Okay. So excellent. And you want to send her an email so that it is, so it doesn't make it weird on the playground later. Okay. Excellent.
Yes, exactly.
Excellent. Okay. So say hello as you join, whether you're live or on the replay. I see we've got 8-10 viewers now. Say hello and please share this with a friend. We're going to be going live here. I will do this for the next 40 minutes and then it's going to be exciting to see what's next. So answers Katie's question is very important. So for those of you, have you ever met anyone at school or at another function, even networking, where you know you're going to see them at the grocery store, you know you're going to see them at pickup, you know you're going to see them again, and so you need to be able to answer a question for them in a professional way, but you don't want it to be awkward or weird later. So by all means, let me know if that's ever happened to you. So here's the answer is whenever I send an email to someone, so in this case, I want to make sure that it's relevant to her, that I'm going to bring her some value. I want to give that person something that she can chew on. You know, it's not just like blowing her off, but I do want to get her to a phone call. Like the email is designed to warm her up so that I can get her on the phone. Because this is what I say all the time is, good salespeople have a good pitch. Like, hey, this is what I do. This is what I do. But great salespeople ask great questions. And so oftentimes it's easy for us when we do something very well, like you do, Katie, is to say, well, yes, I can do that. And here's how, instead of asking that one more question. So saying, hey, let's name the person Sally. Hey, Sally, I'm so glad that we connected. I'm glad that our kids go to school together. Make it as personal, like name your kid, name her kid, like make the names in there. I love name of school. It's so great, especially whatever you like best about it. So she really does feel that warmth in the first two sentences. And then I want you to add into, I would love to talk to you more about this. I have some questions. When is the next best time to talk to you? I can squeeze you in between appointments. 2 p.m. on Tuesday or 3 p.m. on Thursday. Do either of those times work for you? So a couple things have happened in that email. You've made it warm, personal, and relevant. You've given her a little bit of value, like saying like, hey, I know, or maybe you can even do a link to something that you give away for free, like a blog post or a podcast that you do or a video. Say, I'd be happy to have you watch this, but let's get on the phone because that's where the real conversation has to happen. I need to know more from you before I can offer any advice. That is my best last sentence because it drives them to action. How does that feel, Katie?
That sounds good. I do have one follow-up question for you, though.
Perfect.
Does it change if the receiver is a man? Is like how I start the email? Just we're talking about school-age kids, and we're talking more of a personal life versus just I met you at a business event.
Yeah, it absolutely would change. So when dealing with the opposite sex, it's easy to have it come off wrong, right? It's easy to be like, it's easy to have it's easy for me to be coming off nice and for them to feel like, oh, she's coming on to me or something. And that's not something we want at all. So narrow. So keep it super simple in that case. If it's a gentleman that you're speaking to and you've met them in a different place, but you're going to see them again, I would say, hey, Bob, it was so great to have met you. I'm so glad I'm in that organization. I absolutely love it, especially X, Y, and Z. So you list more corporate business facts, right? Because men are like, the facts, ma'am, just the facts, less touchy-feely, because that just they're not wired that way. So to connect with them and make it relevant for them, it's a different connection and a different relevancy. And then I would still go through to, here's a link to something that I think might help you in the short term, but the real answers are going to come from me asking you a few more questions. Bob, I've got a 2 o'clock. I can squeeze you in between appointments, 2 o'clock on Tuesday or 3 o'clock on Thursday. Do either of those work for you for a quick phone call? So now he has to respond, and he also knows that you have clients and that you're busy.
Fantastic. That's super helpful. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So I'm so thankful. Have a great day, Katie. So make sure you come into the Facebook Live as well and type your name in. And anybody who's listening, make sure to click on her link. Her profile, she's amazing. She blows my mind. I'm so glad to have her in my world. Thank you, Katie. Mwah. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, so we had some other callers while Katie was on the line, and since it's just me and like my my right hand and my left hand, I don't have a room full of assistants. Let's see if anybody else wants to call now. The lines are open. I know I saw. Oh, here we go. Let's see who this is.
Sandra Santorino.
Sandra Santorino.
Press 1 to send a voice.
Let's see. Hello. You are live on the S Word.
Renee?
This is Hello, Sandra Santorino.
Hey, I'm watching you without sound. You look like you're talking without sound.
Oh no, online?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Is it?
No, I'm just kidding. I just muted my Facebook so I can watch you in.
I was like, oh no.
Looking at you.
Yes, if you call in, mute the Facebook Live. Just use the call in. Thank you, Sandra, for that reminder. I thought my audio was out.
It's like you're a famous celebrity on a radio station, and I get to call in and ask you stuff.
And you know what? Sandra and I, we had lunch together when I was in New Haven at my mastermind. She's an absolute rock star. I've fallen in love with her business. So before we get started, Sandra, tell everyone who's listening a little bit about you and your business.
Sure. So I started a company probably about 4 years ago, and it's called Say It International. I just found out recently what I wanted to be when I grew up. I'm going to be 56. My business took a big shift this year, and I found one thing and focused on it because I was all over the place for a long time with teaching people all kinds of social media. And I concentrate on live video now, so I created a community, a Facebook group, a program, a course, everything created that circles all around Real Women Go Live. I finally do not have to explain what I do because I pretty much, it's a hashtag now, Real Women Go Live. People are like, what do you do? And I'm like, I teach real women to go live. So I've made it really simple. I love what I do. I love live streaming. I feel like I'm good at it. it. I should be positive about that. I'm good at it. I'm right there and saying it. And I love to inspire and teach other women how to bring live video into their business and live audio too. Your voice. Look at this.
Can you tell why I?
My voice.
That's right. So for those listening, can you tell why I love Sandra? She has made such a movement around real women just going live. Go live wherever you are. She started on Snapchat, guys. This lady is freaking amazing. Okay, so Sandra, what is your sales question? What is your sales question today for the S word?
All right, so I'm going to ask you my sales question, and it's also a pet peeve. Am I allowed to say, like, I freaking cannot stand this four-letter word? You know my favorite four-letter word begins with an S, but I hate this four-letter word, and I'm going to actually imitate how some people use it in a sentence, and I freaking can't stand it. And I want to know from the best of the best, how to sell like a mother, how you deal with people saying, I'm too busy. I freaking hate it. You know what, people? There's 1,440 minutes in your day. How busy are you? You're not Kim Kardashian or, you know, some famous celebrity. So
okay, so hashtag Sandra is on a rant. So hashtag Sandra is on a rant. Okay, so
I'm watching you pee your pants laughing while I'm talking.
Totally. So the first thing is this, is that I only.
My invitation of the person on the other end. I figured I'd play it up.
Yes. So my thing is this: is if people are saying I'm too busy, then I am not talking to the right people. So one of the biggest things I have in sales is that it's not up to you to go hunt people down. Like, selling is not hunting. Selling is putting out warm cookies and seeing who comes to you because they're hungry. So I'm not going to try to force feed my delicious, homemade, amazing, award-winning, prize-holding, blue ribbon chocolate chip cookies on somebody if they're gluten-free, because they won't be able to eat them because they're full of gluten and sugar, and they're delicious. But if you don't want them, that's okay. But I'm not going to be like, everybody must have the cookie. It's only people that A, want chocolate chip cookies, and B, are hungry right now that can have these. Right on? So whatever you're creating, it's amazing. It's wonderful. You've put heart, time, love, tradition, energy into it. Don't ever chase anyone. So that is the first thing. If they say I'm too busy, that's their time. That's their way of saying you're chasing me. And then it's what I do in that case is say, absolutely. You know, I give them another place to nurture, right? So I have a Facebook group that I just love hanging out in. It's the only Facebook group that I run. It's totally free. It's called Entrepreneurial Parents Movement, and that is a place that I send them. It's kind of like swim around and hang out and get to know the culture of like what I'm talking about. And if that's not their place that they like to swim around, that's okay. But I'm not going to be like, hey, you joined and then you never did any. Hey, come on back. No, I'm just going to say, this is what I'm doing. If you want to come to my cookie party, then great. If you're not hungry, then that's cool. Well, peace out. I'll see you around, and maybe next time. How does that feel, Sandra?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Does that feel okay with you?
Yeah, no, that feels good. Now I want a cookie, damn it. I have to eat lunch before I eat the cookies. God, you had to say that word. Cookie.
Awesome. So I think that it's kind of a thing. Like, so is there another question around that, or that you wanted to ask, or?
This sort of is, right? It leads into, and then they give you, which I think is BS half the time, and they're just not ready to commit. They'll say, like, I'm so busy, I really want to do it now, but I have, like, a launch and a website and this, and they'll start, like, you know how, like, my mother always says, when you lie, Sandra, it leads to, like, more lies and more bullshit. I feel like they start with busy just to kind of shut me down, and then they'll get into like, and I have this and I have that, and like, and I'm scratching my head going like, seriously?
Okay.
I don't think so.
But that's the thing. Like,
you don't have all that stuff going on.
No, it's letting you, like, I can see that it's rallying you up. So my best advice as a woman to woman is walk away. Like, they're just not ready, and doesn't mean that they're never going to be ready. They're just saying no. Like, women, we don't like to say no. We like to say not now. We like to say excuses because we don't want to say, no, I hate your thing and I'm not interested. But you know what I mean? Like, they don't want to say that. What they want to say is, not right now. I'm busy. I have all these other things going on. So if they say not right now, in my sales training, I don't teach how to overturn objections because that is a dude thing. And women selling to other women, that's just not the way that we buy. You forcing me is only going to force me to buy it, and then I'm going to return it. Right? Men will buy it and not return it. women will buy it and will return it, and it's just no good. So just in that case, you know what? Take that as a not right now. Put them into a nurture sequence somewhere. Maybe it's an autoresponder. Maybe it's not you have a great Facebook group there too. So somewhere where they can nurture and swim around and hang out, and then go back. And and then they'll find a time when it's good for you. Sound good? All right.
Sounds good. I'm going to start a cookie business.
We have another call coming in. Thank you, Sandra. Make sure to come into the Facebook feed and put your stuff.
Thank you, Renee.
Bye. See you.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Call from Bertia.
Hey, hey. Hello, hello. You're live on S-Word. Hello. Hello. I saw California, and then I hear that it's Britt. Britt is in Texas. What's up, girl? That's right, because you're from California originally.
Yes, I never changed my...
I love it. I love it. So Britt, I know you very well. Britt and we are clients of each other. She's paid me. She's working with me now. I'm one of her clients. I just, does it happen to you guys where you just fall in love with your clients? You're like, I need everything that you have. So Britt, tell everybody who doesn't know you a little bit about you and your business before we get started on your sales question.
Yeah, so I am, it all started when I was 7 and I started to have seizures. And so it was really kind of up to me at that point to understand my health and my body and my brain, what was happening in my head. So from there, I kind of developed this obsession with the health and body, went to college for it, currently work in ultrasound, and now my goal in life is to help other women kind of understand their health and their triggers and how we can blend that with your life today. So that is what I do.
Awesome.
I help Fringe and Fitness.
Yes, I love that. I love it. I love it. So Fringe and Fitness, and make sure after this call you go back in the thread and type that in, and so make sure people can click on you. The sun just came out in Detroit, of course, right into my face. So Britt, tell me about your sales question today. Hopefully I can help.
So my sales question is, what do you do when you're following up with somebody and they're just not following through with the sale? How long do you stay on them or follow up with them?
Yeah, but this is right. This is a great question, and it's so important. So the thing is you've made an offer to someone, and it's out there, but they haven't pulled the trigger. They've said, yes, 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 send it to me. I'm in. I'm all in. Just send me the link. I'm going to pay. And then they don't. They ghost, right? Tell me in the comments, has that ever happened to you? Has it ever happened where you sent out a proposal and the person just ghosts on you? Like they were all in, like, all my chips are on the table. I'm in. Okay. So when they ghost, a couple of things are happening. Number one, don't necessarily take their silence as them silently saying no. That's not necessarily what's happening. Chances are they meant to do it, they didn't do it. So I'll take that as I'm going to nurture them. So I have to have a plan going in. And this is why it's important to have very specific systems in place for a sales process. So a lot of the work comes before I even send the proposal. Right, so before I've even sent it, I'm going to give you a few steps so you can help preempt this the next time. So before I send it, I want them to know that there is a limited number of opportunities for this offer that I'm about to give them. This is not an offer at this price that I offer every day of my life. So this is a finite amount. And you know what? None of us are going to live forever, so everything is finite. And then secondly, when I do send that proposal, I definitely 100%. Well, let me back it up one more step. When I'm on the phone with them, because at this point I'm assuming you've been on the phone, I definitely have a link up. And I'm like, listen, why don't you just take care of it right now? Let me secure your spot right now. And if they can't do that, then I'll say, all right, I'm going to send you this. And this is where you're at when you send the proposal. I'll send you this, but there is a deadline on it. And I would love to be able to extend it. But ultimately, this is where it is right now. If that deadline passes, this offer at this price will be off the table, and we'll have to talk again to see if it's even valid later. So those three things are happening before, during the proposal. Now, if all that happens and they still ghost on you, I would then follow up with a very simple and direct question saying almost the same thing as I did on that last line of the proposal. I would say, Sally, I have absolutely loved getting to know you, specifically X and Y and Z. And when you told me this about that, I absolutely understood. And I believe that 100% the offer that I've written you is great and going to help you get there. The only problem is it's not going to last forever. So at the offer that I've sent you at this price is only valid until, you know, tomorrow at 2, or it was only valid until yesterday at 2. And I'm willing to extend it till tonight at 5, but ultimately our paths will have to cross another time if I don't receive payment by then. So I'm kind, but I'm clear. I never want to hurt anyone's feelings. I never want to make them feel bad, but I need to be clear and stand in myself, like saying, like, I do have this thing and there is a finite amount of it. And at this price, it's going to go quick. I'm not just making that up. It's just actually going to happen. And so I would love to keep this open and say, hey, whenever, but we all know, especially with what you do, Britt, where you're actually helping women make changes for themselves. And it is in our nature to put ourselves last, right? So they're like, even for me, I'm like, okay, I'll do it later. I'll do 10,000 other things for Ben and Mark and the dogs and my audience and like my business. But for me, oh, like, look at this. Look at like manicure. Hello. It doesn't, right? Just as one example. Like I've been meaning to do it, but because it's for me, it gets pushed. I push it to the bottom, which means I need you even more. But that's just that's your audience. They oftentimes are going to put themselves last. So kindly and clearly saying, I wish I could, but here's the deal. Here's the deadline again. Last call. If not, you know, here's a link to join my group again. I hope to see you in there, and I hope you catch the next round. How does that feel?
Okay. Yeah, that's good, because I think that is, you know, that is kind of what happens is that, like you say, you know, we're already putting ourselves last, so signing up for that and committing to that is kind of the hard thing. So when they know they want it, they know they need it, but it's just making that, you know, final commitment. So yeah, that feels good.
Awesome. Good. It's real hard. You know, it's hard to say no to people. It's hard to give them a deadline because you know how good it's going to be for them. But knowing is not what needs to, that's not the transformation, right? The transformation has to come from within. Same thing happens with my clients too. Like, I know they can do it. I give them the tools. Here it is on a platter, silver. And nothing is going to change for them until they decide that they can do it and that they're going to do it.
Right. And
that's the only time it can change. And so it's exciting when that happens because you're like, I saw it happen. I saw the light switch. I saw it. I saw the flicker. And all it takes is a decision once all the tools are in place. So if you use all those tools, you will see a higher conversion rate with the people that you connect with. And so it would be less time wasted, more impact effect of the people that actually need you. Cool?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Britt. Make sure you come back into the live stream, drop your links, and say hello. And for those of you who are listening, click on this link, Fringe and Fitness, the Wellness Warrior Tribe. I just joined. It's freaking awesome. Have a great day. All right. We have another caller coming in. Bye, Britt. See you later.
Bye.
All right.
Cool. Irina Miller.
Irina Miller.
Press 1.
Hello. You're live on the S Word.
Hello, Renee. Oh, long time listener and second time caller. I love that Renee put that up there.
I know. I saw that. That was so funny. So for those people that don't know, first of all, Irina is my yoga teacher. I love this. Thank you so much for calling. I love her. And so for those of you who don't know her, Irina, please tell them a little bit about you and your business.
Yes. Well, I love helping people tap into the unseen resources all around them, and a lot of that is through yoga work, also tuning into the energy around us, knowing when to avoid bad vibes, and essentially how to feel better in your body. So I do that through the yoga club, and I have a blast with it. Yeah. So thank you for taking my call.
Okay, so what is your sales question today?
Yes. Well, when you're working with a one-on-one client and your contract is coming to an end, how would you start the conversation, or, you know, bring up, and when do you bring up, how can we, you know, do you want to continue? I would love to continue, you know, extend the contract, set up another one, that kind of awkward phase where, like, who talks first and what do you say?
Awesome. So that's a fantastic question. So tell me, for those that are listening live or on the replay, have you ever had a long-term contract, either a group program or a one-on-one client that was coming to an end? and you weren't sure about how you were going to continue or if you were going to continue the relationship with them. So in this case, let's take the deal of I want to continue working with them. So if you're working with a one-on-one, to take Irina's question specifically, if you're working with a one-on-one client and your contract that you initially agreed to is coming to an end, how do you broach the subject of, hey, we should open up the conversation to talk about what might be next for this relationship? It's fantastic. So tell me yes if you guys have ever experienced that, if you've come across it. Let me tell you what I would do in kind of a short form here. So first of all, a lot of it is, again, the sales, this is still a part of the sales process. Like I see it as like a timeline. I see it as a rope with specific knots, right? And so every knot in this rope is another piece of the sales process, and you've got to tie that knot throughout this rope, throughout the relationship, from the moment that you meet them to when they become a client, to then as they're a client, and then now as this rope may be coming to an end. But we never want to completely lose touch with those people, because there really are so few people that actually come into our lives and that spend that much time with us. So I never want to totally leave it never to talk again. So here's a couple things that I do. So right up when it's coming close, let's say I'm a couple weeks out or even a week out, I always want to make sure that I can put some alerts in my phone of when those contracts are coming up. And I always like to give an extra session. So this is what I do, an extra session, not necessarily of like a whole hour, but like a 15-minute or 30-minute, hey, Sally, our time is coming to an end, but I want to have a special session on me, totally gratis. And I want to use it to talk about what might be next for us. I have a time available on Tuesday at 3 o'clock or 4:15. Work out the time. Like, don't just send her a link. You know this person, make it personal. But also, giving them 2 options that they can actually choose from does help versus, say, keeping it open. So you have to still move the needle forward. And I like that 2-option question. So does this time work or does that time work? Okay, she says, okay, so Friday works. Great. So you book the appointment, you make a confirmation, and then you prepare for it. And when you prepare for it, you're thinking about all the things that she's accomplished in the time that you've worked together. And oftentimes the student is always looking up and forward and up and forward and forgets all the things that they actually have accomplished. Especially as entrepreneurs, we're always looking forward, forward, forward. And so we forget where we've been, and to give ourselves a pat on the back for that. And so as her teacher, her coach, I would certainly give her, again, preparing for this call, give her in writing and verbally what she has accomplished. How you've done this, you've overcome this, this has happened, I'm so excited for you and this work we've done together. And truly, it's their win, and you've just been the guide, right? I'm always the sidekick, they're always the hero. And then I look at and say, based on all the things you've done and all the things that you want to keep doing, I have a few ideas. Now, if you're not 100% sure of where they want to keep going, then this was how you broach the subject. So you can say, tell me what you would like to see based on all that you've already accomplished. What would you like to see? And if you're talking about in their business or in their life or in their health, right? Whatever area you're working on them with, what would you like to see from that in the next 6 months? And so they're forward thinking. That'll be an easy answer for them. And they're going to say, well, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do this. And you're like, that is amazing. I am so excited for you because I know that you can do that. And after getting to know you for these amount of months, what I do know is true is that there might be a few opportunities for us to continue to support, where I can continue to support you to make sure that you get there. Do you want to hear about those possibilities? Yes. So this is a call, again, that you've booked in. It's on your time. You're giving it to them. You're going to give them some value. But it's also an evaluation of your time together and what might be next. And they say, yeah, I do want to hear about how it might be able to continue. And I can think, again, I'm prepared for the call. I'm thinking, well, this is an existing client. So I'm not going to necessarily create a package that's just out of the, that's just already on my website and packaged up for X amount of dollars. I feel very comfortable at this point customizing something. Maybe there's a part of our work that they aced and they don't need any more of that. And now this is a new area that they want to dive into. So I can offer them this and I can say, here's where I see us going. Here's how I see us getting there. And here's how much that would be. Do you have any questions about what I think would be about that offer? And they say, yes, well, I would like more of this or I'd like less of that. Absolutely. So it's an open conversation. Say, great. And so I end the call by saying this. Great. Are you ready to secure your spot for the next 6 months? Or are you ready to secure your spot for the next level of service? So whatever it is that you're offering, another level of service, another offer of working together, or if they're saying, you know, now is not the time, you can say, absolutely, let's book another call in 60 days or in 30 days for 10 minutes so we can check in with each other. Again, this is not just somebody off the internet. This is somebody you've worked with, you've held personal space with. So a check-in call for 10, 15 minutes in 30 days or 60 days or 90 days will do two things. It will mean that your pipeline never runs dry because you are also always growing. You're also always creating new things. You're also always offering new things. And so are they. So your roads may separate, but they also may converge again. And so you don't know that until you speak to them. But hanging up and never having another piece of the string of the rope to continue that conversation, it's so easy for us to get lost. And like Sandra went off on her rant, everybody gets busy, legit. So my calendar is a lot clearer right now for June than it will be in June, right? So right now you want to book something for the 24th? Okay, but you want to call me on the 21st for the 24th? I can't talk until August. You know what I mean? Just because that's life. So programs and offers and this and that. And so that is my best suggestion. So it's either confirm payment and an offer on the phone for the next level of service or the continuation of support, or at the very least, if they're not ready for that and they've said so, then book another call. How does that feel?
Amazing. Oh, I'm so glad this is being recorded. I've been writing furiously. Thank you, Renee. This is
Awesome.
just amazing.
Good. Thank you so much, Irina. I just enjoy you so much. And for any of you who have not met Irina, please click on her profile. Irina, please go back in and put your links. Thank you so much for calling in. And we've got time for one more caller. Let's see what we've got here. Bye. All right. So let's see if anyone else calls in. I have some other questions that people had before. So the number is 313-355-2821. You're going to call right on my cell phone here. I have some people that had put questions in already. So say hello. Are you getting something out of this? Do you like this live Q&A? Because if you do, I am running a live web class tomorrow at 1:15. Yes, I'm going to go through every single step of what I teach my students, of exactly how to go from 0 to sales in 10 minutes a day, how to get that next or first paying client in 7 days, every 7 days. I'm going to run through that system, and I've had people walk away from my free web classes and go and make thousands of dollars. And I've had people, honestly, that of course take it to the next level and then we end up working together. But either way, it's a free web class. It's tomorrow. At the end, I'm going to be doing a 20-minute, if not more, because you know I love it, call just like this, where we're going to be in a Zoom room. I'm going to be able to see your face. You can see my face. It's not going to be over the phone. It's going to be face-to-face like this, but it's just going to be whoever joins us live. Those are the only people that are going to be able to ask questions. And it would be amazing for you to join me. So I'll put the link in here as well. It's going to be super awesome. So let's see. Anne says, if not, pick mine, please. Okay, so Anne did ask a question. You know, this is a fantastic question. And Anne Tipton, again, make sure you click on her profile. She is freaking amazing. I have the pleasure of being in a mastermind with her, led by Julie Stoyan, and I tell you, it's just amazing. I got to hang out with her at Yale University 2 weeks ago. Anne is amazing. She lives in Indianapolis, and it's not too far from Detroit, so we're like Midwesterners. Okay, so you guys are like, and you're boring. Okay, so Anne asked about local businesses. When I first came into the idea that I wanted to hang up my consultancy shingle. I didn't want to work for somebody else anymore. I wanted to work on my own time and deliver my expertise when I thought I should, like on my own schedule. I thought first, let me connect with the local businesses. Have you ever thought like that? I'm going to help the local businesses. I'm going to help them first. If you're listening live or on the replay, have you thought, you know what, those local businesses, like I drove Ben to school this morning and I saw 2 restaurants getting like refurbed, and I was thinking, shit, they need a funnel. So definitely I know that these people need us. The question is, how do you connect with them so that you can get them on the phone and have a conversation with them? And again, I want to say that if you're going to get anybody on the phone and have any kind of conversation, I want you to repeat these words. If I had a tattoo, it would say this: good salespeople good salespeople have good pitches. Great salespeople ask great questions, because you want to get them talking about them, because chances are the way they see their problem, the way they describe their problem is not how you see their problem or how you would describe their problem. So please tell me yes in the comments if you've ever felt this way. I want to help local businesses. So yes, okay, I spent 20 years going business to business for big companies in the telecom boom, like AT&T, when we took over all the, I say we because I was definitely a part of that. Me and my army of 300 salespeople across 5 states, we every day went business to business, and without an appointment, walked in and talked, had to find and get in to talk to the small business owner. And so lots of stories about that. And then there was credit card processing boom. And, you know, I wrote a lot of really financially beneficial waves right to the bank when it came to business selling, small local businesses. So here's what you do. You know, nothing better than walking in the door, and honestly, hand to God, like walk in, but don't even go in the front, like go in the back door. I know it sounds weird, but the owner's not at the front desk. He's in back at his office. Probably since it's nice out, the door is open. Just walk in and be like, yeah, I was just actually in the area and I came by because this is what I do. And I was helping out some other people, and I thought that I could ask the owner a few questions. You look pretty fancy, or you look like the owner. You know, John, you know, look for his name and make a compliment. Like, that's funny. I saw, is that your Jeep out back? I totally love Jeeps. So an introduction, a short story to kind of break the ice, and then ask a few questions, right? So, hey, John, so is this your business? Is this your only location? Get him talking about himself as soon as you can, because who is everybody's favorite topic? Themselves. So this is a great business. Is this the only location? Wow, this is great. That parking lot new? That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I've got a couple businesses that, and like as they start talking about things and telling you things, you're going to have ideas about how else to connect what they do, what they are, to other people that you have helped, whether it was virtual or in local businesses. Okay, so he's going to probably not have time. He might have time. I don't know, but you're going to walk in with the idea that you're going to be able to close him on the spot. If you can't, then you set up a call. A phone call, not a I'm going to come back to and sit down here call, because that's a waste of time. The initial connection is just like that. That's how I used to do it, and it still works like gold. So pick 5 businesses, and pick them out of the phone book, pick them out of the sky, pick them out because you're walking on Main Street, and go in and have this type of conversation. And if the person that is in charge is not there, you get their number, and then you just call them. So here's the second piece. When I leave a voicemail, this is a total ninja trick. I always leave a voicemail at 7 or 7:30 p.m. at night. Why? Because usually the owner is the first one in. Usually the owner is the first one to check the voicemail. And if I'm the last one to leave a voicemail for the day, I'll be the first one on his voicemail the next morning. And my voicemail is like this. Hey, Bob, I stopped in. I've got a couple businesses in the area that I've been looking at, but whatever. I do this. This is what I do. I have some really interesting news for you. People love news. I have some really interesting news for you. Just need a quick call back. Here's my number. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And if I don't hear back from you, I'll call you tomorrow afternoon. So I've had people say, is that a threat or a promise? Both. So the next day, if I don't hear back from Bob, I'm going to call his office. Hey, Bob, this is Renee. I left you a voicemail last night. And the same thing. This is my intro. This is my short story. And this is what I'm doing. I have a couple questions for you. Do you have time for a couple quick questions? Great. And then I ask him my questions. And this is, again, you have to come up with some great questions. This is part of what I work with people. What questions do you ask? Once you get that information, you repeat it back to make sure you get it right. And then you say, is this what I'm hearing? Is this the full picture? Is there more to the story? And if there is, then you get the information. And then if there isn't, you're like, okay, so it sounds like, and then you make a summary and you make it a connection with another business just like his who's had a similar situation. And here's where the result is after whatever you got. Okay, and then I'm like, do you want to hear more about how that works? Well, yes, I do, Renee. Okay, great, Bob. And I can either tell him on the phone right then and there and close him and get his credit card, get his appointment, whatever I'm doing to close the deal. Or I can say, if it's a longer thing that he has to sign, Bob, I'm available 2 days next week. I've got a 3:15 between appointments, or I've got a 4 o'clock on Friday. Which one works better for you to come in and make this happen? Because I would hate for you to lose out on it. 3 o'clock. Okay, great, Bob. I'll be there. Be square. If you're not there, sorry, I'm going to have to hunt you down and kill you. No, maybe not. So I'm just kidding. But the thing is, humor does help. And that's why I really like working with people like Katie. She knows that humor sells. Humor sells. So say hello as you join. And is this helpful to you? Or for anyone listening live or on the replay, going into a business, connecting with them, having that sales conversation, quick and simple. I give you a very brief framework. Does that feel right? What questions come up if it doesn't feel right? Cool. So Helen Henley says, this is fabulous, Renee. Thank you. Linda Catling says, yes. So whether you're live or on the replay, oh, I got more comments down here. Hey, Pamela. Hey, Diana. Hello. Hello. Okay. So Ann says, so smart. Okay. So are there any other questions? Tell me more. Give me more questions and scenarios in the comments. I'll do my best. But remember, I'm going to be doing this again tomorrow in a secret Zoom room. I'm going to put the link above for you to grab your seat. And I'm going to be going over exactly the framework, what to do every single day of the week to go from 0 to sales to get your next or your first paying client within 7 days, every 7 days. Because sales should not be hard. We sell every day, all of us. And it doesn't have to be selling. It's conversing. It's connecting. It's having authentic relations with people that just don't end because they say no or yes, right? Whether someone says no or yes, it's just another knot in the rope of the sales process. And that rope can go for miles and miles and miles. Cool? Thank you so much for listening today. S-Word Live. Thank you so much. I'll put the link above. Put your questions below. Adios, amigos. Dun, 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 dun.